And here we started another day with a bulky V-neck raglan cardigan knit-along. This time we're doing the right front cardigan. This is part 2 of 3. So this is how it goes. Nice and slow. We've now knit our first row of fancy stitching. 44 rows to go. As long as you have your fine knit bar, you're good to go. For those of you who are latch tooling, every 5 rows, latch tool. Okay, there's nothing fancy going on. I'm going to pause this video until we get closer to the pocket. Alright, we're at row 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a breath, and now you lower both beds. Well, you lower both sides. Not a big deal. You can do 2. Okay. We now need to bring up our pocket up to the top. But we also need to cast off from 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 14 left to 6 right. I'm going to make sure I write down 14. All right. Best way to cast off is with alternate color. Well, actually, do it in waste yarn. It'll be even easier. So let's do waste yarn instead. So we'll take our contrast color waste yarn. And we're just going to knit through. Okay, maybe a generous tail. Now, instead of just putting the pocket up and hoping for the best, we're actually going to reverse the way the waste yarn is. So we're going to make them pearls. Okay, dropping it. Top. Okay. So this is now a pearl stitch. Makes sense? So it drops, pull, purl, drop, purl, now the reason why I'm purling these is so that when we go to do the finish on the pocket, so a little bit of ribbing, we can actually grab those purl bumps and have our ribbon go the right direction. And then at the very end, we pull the waste yarn, and everything is the direction it needs to be. If you want more space to work with the waste yarn, you can now do a second row of waste yarn, if that's your thing. I'm not going to do that. This extra step is just makes it easier. I learned this doing thumbs on mittens. Many of my thumbs are actually accidentally pearls because it was just easier. Okay, so that is now purled. Moving that back. Now we reach all the way down and we pick up that pocket. As you can see, it's quite the stretch. So now we flip it down. Waste yarn. This now becomes the start of the panel. So instead of having to cast on and keep going, your pocket is 3/4 done. All you got to do at the end is sew the sides going on a straight line. Just make sure you haven't twisted it in any way before you get this all done. Are there other ways to do pockets? Of course there is. But this is my way. And there you go. Move these forward. Now be very careful when lifting this up because these are fully extended. You don't want to lose any of your stitches. And that is how I do a pocket. Okay, we are now going to knit up to the armhole decrease. Nice and slow. We're very close to it being on the ground. We have 21 more rows to go. And at row 76, we are on the ground. And I don't know if you can see this, but this is what it looks like. Almost invisible, but still beautiful. The pocket itself is going to be amazing. Taking off the extra weights. At the end, we will be using 7 weights, so don't forget to get those ready. Okay, so we're at row 76. We have 16 rows to go. Five rows to go, row 87. Okay, row 92, we are decreasing those 3 stitches on the side. Same bind off as before, 1 in behind, 2, 3, so we're at 15 and 18. Okay, knitting across. Now, we need to free the gate peg. Okay, and now we need to move 1 stitch in. We are only maybe 6 rows away from the inside. 1, 2, okay, keeping an eye out. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we are decreasing 1 here. So 11 and 18. Okay, so now we're supposed to move everything to the left. So we will rack 1, 2 to the left. Now, this one goes in, and all of these come in. You can either do it this way, or you can just push this one down to here. Your choice. I'm going to move them each time. So each time they're all going to shift inward 1 stitch. Not 2, just 1. So they're all moving over 1 stitch. You still have the same amount. Nothing else changes. Keep an eye on your ribbon. That's how you're going to know. We will now knit across. We're only decreasing on this side this time. So now we're at 10 left, 17 plus on the right. We are still doing the armhole decrease. Nothing's going on here yet. 1 more row. Okay, so now we're going to do this again. We are going to move 1 stitch, 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 rack. 1, 2. Stitches are out of work. Stitches are fine. Everybody's copacetic. Everybody's good. Okay. To be continued one more time. I promise, just one more.